From the BG Podcast Network studios, brought to you by Chattahoochee Tech, this is your Paulding County News Podcast, bringing our stories to life with news, events, and what we're talking about in Paulding County. Like, follow, and subscribe to hear the latest news from the Paulding County News Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. For you, about you, from you. Call us now to get in on the conversation at 404-997-8655. That's 404-997-8655 or info@bgadgroup.com. And here's what you're talking about.
Welcome to your Paulding County News Podcast. I'm Melissa Carter, along with Doug Harding. A prominent sports figure is charged with killing his wife. Plus, a recent college graduate reminds us it is never too late. But first, a father's in trouble for confronting his son's bullies. The Paulding County Sheriff's Office arrested Maurice Manigault from Marietta last month after he boarded his son's bus and yelled at the students, saying if they didn't leave his son alone, they would have to deal with him personally. Authorities interviewed the principal and witnesses at Nebo Elementary School, learning the students' threats, including bringing a gun to school, date back to September. Now, Manigault faces charges of disrupting public school and misdemeanor disorderly conduct. This from the Georgia Gazette. But Doug, I see the story and I think, is the right person being punished for this?
Yeah, exactly. And I guess schools turn away from the bullying thing and, it's not really happening.
Oh, but it is.
Yeah. In a bizarre arrest, a Georgia man is back behind bars after being discovered in the bed of a truck with loaded weapons in North Carolina. Investigators pulled over a truck in Clay County, North Carolina, because they appeared to be spotlighting the deer they were hunting, which is against the law. James Brandon Taylor of Dallas had a loaded crossbow and a flashlight in his lap. When he was asked to stand up, a sawed-off shotgun fell out of the back of his pants. He also admitted to being a felon on probation for methamphetamine possession. Deputies later found more meth during the jail search. Taylor faces charges including possession of a firearm by a felon and possession of a weapon of mass destruction. This from WSB.
Is that a shotgun in your back pocket, or?
You just happy to see us.
I'm just happy to see us. In the fight against COVID and influenza, the Georgia Department of Public Health Northwest Health District is now introducing 24/7 testing kiosks. They're at Advent Health Gordon in Calhoun and CHI Memorial Hospital, Georgia in Fort Oglethorpe. Quick and easy testing, no pre-registration required. Simply complete a brief form, grab 2 test kits, one for COVID, the other for influenza. Daily pickups ensure swift delivery to an accredited lab. Get your results via email or text within 48 hours. And the best part, no out-of-pocket costs. This from the Georgia Department of Health. But Doug, I can tell you, I already know several people who've been really sick over this season. So just try to stay healthy as it peaks out and, get tested if you need to. Coming up, a local woman's journey to her cap and gown is more than just a graduation story. It's a tale of resilience, determination, and inspiration. We'll tell you why she has touched the hearts of many. But now let's check the weather for Paulding County.
It's all brought to you by Angie Chavez Realty. Cloudy today with a high of 55 and a low of 32. Partly sunny on Monday. We got highs of 55 and a low of 45. And then Tuesday, the rain is returning. We'll have a high of 56 and a low of 35.
98.7 Chat Tech, where 98.7% of our students earn a career.
So for each of our programs at Chattahoochee Tech, we have an industry advisory committee. Those are people in each given industry that will employ our graduates when they get finished with our program.
We have students that are placed at manufacturing companies such as, let's say Glock, for example, the gun manufacturer, because they have machinery that's running 24/7 to create the guns. So all the way from that to healthcare, where like hospitals, for example, they're running 24/7 and they have machinery that needs to be running 24/7 as well.
My program is specifically for students who want to be in healthcare, but maybe don't want patient contact. Maybe they want to be in healthcare, in a healthcare field that's recession-proof and they're helping people, but maybe they don't want blood, body fluids, any of those elements in their life. So they may choose healthcare management to be on the opposite side of the patient care.
Visit chattahoocheetech.edu, where 98.7% of our students earn a career.
We're back with more of your Paulding County News Podcast.
From WSB's Facebook page, shocking developments in the cycling world. Olympic champion Rohan Dennis, husband of world champion Melissa Hoskins, was arrested and charged in her tragic death by striking her with his car. Details are still emerging, but Shannon Card-Williams said she was ran over, saying she was hit downplays the situation. Melissa Eck offered, "So sad. I'm glad they're focusing on her and not him. I've read multiple articles and they mentioned her accomplishments at the very end." And Nick Weissensell responded, "Damn, this crazy. Seems like jealousy."
Something's up.
Something's up, because at first I saw that story and it's like, oh, she was hit by a car. And I thought, oh, how many cycling stories do we hear where people on bikes are hit by cars? But it was her husband's car. So I'm like, oh, there's something to that. So we'll find out more as it develops. From the AJC's Facebook page, Gloria Stowers, at the age of 70, became the most senior graduate at Kennesaw State University this fall after nearly 50 years away from education. Stowers earned a bachelor's degree in art education. Born and raised in Marietta, she faced educational challenges during integration. The single mother of 3 fulfilled a promise to her late husband by earning her degree. She had a tiger print cap symbolizing her determination. How cute. Stowers plans to continue teaching various artistic mediums. Many commented, "Congratulations." Lisa Henderson Malcolm said, "What a blessing." And Dorothy Browning responded, "You joined the club. Never too later."
Congrats to her. I think that's wonderful.
I think that's great. Yes, it's never too late. And here's your weird story of the day, but it's a positive weird story, okay? I'll gross you out next time. But a New Jersey family welcomed twin boys, not only on different days, but in different years. I never thought of this. Parents Eve and Billy Humphrey were in for a surprise when their twins, Ezra and Ezekiel, decided to make a grand entrance straddling New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, right? So they're twins. One was born at 11:48. And the other one was born at 12:28 a.m. So that means different days and different years on their birthday, but they're still twins. And on top of all that, another birthday coincidence. The twins have an older brother whose birthday is on January 3rd. This from Atlanta's News First.
They're going to have a lifelong of, "You're my younger brother, so be quiet."
Exactly, yes. I'm a year older than you. No, you're not. No, you're not.
What's happening in Paulding County? We've got you covered.
Here's some events. January 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's MLK Impact Day, hosted by Douglas Carroll Paulding chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority at New Manchester High School in Douglasville. Also, January 20th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Tractor Supply Pet Appreciation Day on Greystone Power Boulevard in Dallas. And finally, February 3rd, beginning at 8 a.m., Singled Out Christian Singles Conference at East Paulding High School in Dallas. So the singles event starts at 8 a.m. I wonder if you get a school lunch with that singles event.
If you're at a high school, you better, right? I want the square cheese pizza with the corn. Somehow they always served us corn and pizza together. I never understood that combination.
We ate it, though.
We ate it, though. Coming up, during the holiday season, we think of fun family gatherings, looking forward to seeing friends and loved ones. But for many who are in domestic violence situations, the holidays can be a nightmare. We're going to talk to Onay Carrington, who is from Ahimsa House, who not only serves survivors in domestic violence situations, but also their pets. You'll learn more coming up.
Angie Chavez is an experienced real estate agent serving Paulding, Cobb, and other counties in Georgia for 24 years. She is dedicated to serving her clients and has extensive knowledge of the West Georgia real estate market. Angie has won numerous awards for her sales production and is a $1 million member of the National Board of Realtors. She specializes in new home construction and is an accredited buyer agent. Angie is also passionate about giving back and supporting military, veterans, teachers, and public servants. Whether buying or selling, Angie Chavez with Atlanta Communities is the right choice. Call her today at 404-401-0739 or visit her website at angiechavez.atlcommunities.com. Hey, unlike others, Angie will call you back if you don't reach her the first time. That's 404-401-0739.
When it comes to solving complex engineering challenges, there's only one name you need to know: Engineered Solutions of Georgia. Our team of experts has years of experience and uses the latest technology to provide innovative solutions for all your home needs. From foundation repair to waterproofing and drainage solutions, we've got you covered. We work with both residential and commercial clients, and we're committed to providing excellent customer service every step of the way. And with our state-of-the-art equipment and top quality materials, you can be confident that your project will be completed to the highest standards. So why settle for less when you can have the best? Call Engineered Solutions of Georgia today to schedule your free consultation and see how we can help you tackle any engineering challenge.
Engineered Solutions of Georgia. We guarantee a stable, dry foundation. Residential and commercial. Hey, we do it all. Dial 678-ESOG now.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Paulding County News Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
All of our feature interview pieces here on the Paulding County News Podcast are presented by Credit Union of Georgia.
Let's meet some of the interesting people in our neighborhood.
I am here with Onay Carrington from Ahimsa Hous. Onay, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Of course, Melissa, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Sometimes during the holidays, and you tell me, Onay, that certain people in certain situations, this may be the worst time of year for them. Am I wrong in that assumption?
That is very correct. With holidays come a lot of family obligations, a lot of stress, financial stress, issues with the children and coming home from school. So with being in the family, being contained for that long period of time, especially in an abusive household, can often exacerbate abuse and cause more stress onto the family that is experiencing this violence. So it's a lot of times it's also hard to escape during holiday seasons. You know, you have to have a saving face for your relatives that are coming. You have to pretend that everything is okay when a lot of the times that is very much not the case at all. So holiday times, really from Thanksgiving to New Year's, is a very difficult time in the domestic violence circle. I don't work at the crisis line anymore with Ahimsa Hous, but when I used to work at the crisis line at another organization, it was always those like little periods right after Christmas or right after Thanksgiving where we get a large influx of calls, a lot of people talking about their experience over the holidays and now trying to leave due to whatever occurred during the holiday season.
I guess for me, I see the holiday season in these type of situations potentially an opportunity for family members to help out. Now, if there's someone who is listening who suspects that something is going wrong with a family member, if they're being abused, if they're in a situation, if there's, if it's just kind of a nagging, like, something's wrong. Something's off. Something's wrong. Something's off. What advice do you give to those who are about to participate in family gatherings on what they can look for or what they can do, maybe just to help? Because I can imagine it being a very lonely experience with no lifeline seemingly in front of you.
And you're very correct. It's often very isolating and lonely for survivors. So I would say for anybody that does suspect that violence is occurring in a home, to first of all, be able to talk to that potential survivor alone and in safety and comfort when they're not being watched or monitored. Obviously, don't make it seem like it's an obvious call out. We want to also protect the survivor that is in that situation, and just share with them your concerns. Straight up, just be very empathetic going into the conversation. Say that you're worried and you're concerned. You just want to know if there's anything you could do to help, if there's anything that they might need. The survivor might disclose that abuse to you at that time, whether or not they do. Definitely just say that you understand and that you reiterate that you're here for them if they do need anything. So it does take a while sometimes for people to be able to speak out about their abuse, but having that space and having that silence for them to be able to speak up is going to be the best way to go.
Well, and it's a process. I think for a lot of people, they're like, oh, if you're getting abused, just get out. But it's not that simple.
Of course not.
And so for a family member, a friend, a loved one during the holidays, that you should not have any expectations by your conversation, right? So it's more important to let them know, again, you're not alone. I see you. I'm here for you, rather than, why don't you do this? Almost a blame game.
And you don't have to like sit down and make a plan with that survivor at that exact moment, even if if they're interested in leaving, that might not be the time for this conversation. You can always come back to it. You can always have the survivor let you know on their own time, or you can give the survivor any resources that you might know. A lot of families do have other people that were in violent situations. So if a survivor comes up to another one, they might be able to say, hey, this is what I did. I've been in a similar situation. So just being able to lend that hand and hold that space is going to be a good strategy. And again, not blaming, not trying to make a big confrontation, especially during the holiday season, right. With everybody there, it's never a good idea to have everybody else get involved in this situation due to it being so dangerous.
Right.
I'm sure that the survivor doesn't want to put other people in danger as well.
Understanding that it could be dangerous. I think for some people, they may not even realize that it could be dangerous. So another resource that people have by listening to our podcast, Ahimsa House is a resource. So why don't Onay talk about Ahimsa House for those who don't know your organization and what resources you give and provide. And maybe that's what a family member or, again, someone who is surviving such a situation can reach out to you and get some help.
Yes, of course. So Ahimsa House is Georgia's first and only nonprofit that specifically assists survivors of domestic violence that have pets in their homes. We are able to take their pets on their behalf, whether it be put them in a foster home or a boarding facility or whatever accommodations. We have a rescue. And then when the survivor and her family members are escaped and they're safe and ready to reunite with their pet after a period of time, we're able to reunite them with their animal in their new living situation.
Is that a reason some stay is because of an animal?
Absolutely. Many survivors do not leave because they know often if they call a shelter, if they go to a family member, they're not able to take their pet with them. Many survivors do not want to leave their pet in that abusive situation because many animals have been abused by the owner, as well as pets are very much another member of the family. They're like children. They're very, very connected and a core member of the family dynamic. So many abusers take advantage of that and decide to use the pet as the vessel to keep family in the home and to keep the survivor staying in that abusive situation.
How can someone reach out to you in order to get, further information, to even if they are not in this situation, don't have anybody to help, but want to financially support you? How would they get in touch with you?
Well, we do have a 24-hour crisis line. That line is specifically for crisis calls. That number is 404-452-6248. But for any other general just information about our program and how we work, our admin number is 404-496-4038. That number can be contacted through Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 regular business hours. And we'll be able to give you general information on our program, how we accept donations, if you would like us to be present at any event, do any presentations, looking for volunteer opportunities, definitely something that we are interested in as well. So that will just give you more information on Ahimsa House and how we work.
And is there a website that people can go to?
For sure. It is Ahimsa, that is AHIMSA House, HOUSE.org, ahimsahouse.org.
Onay, thank you so much for your time. Anything else that I've forgotten that you would love to tell people who may be needing to call the crisis line or know someone who does?
I would say it's never too late to ask for help. It's never too late to get that help you need. Life is worth living and it's worth to be fulfilling for you, for everybody in your family, for your friends and your loved ones. So whatever time you need, do take that time and trust yourself, trust your instincts, and be there for the people that need you there.
Awesome. Onay, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Melissa. It was a pleasure.
I love technology as much as anybody, but when banks replace people with machines, I had to draw a line. I've been with the same bank for 20 plus years, and as cool as technology is, I believe the relationship you have with your bank is an important one. My wife used to bake cookies for the people who worked at our bank, and they were our friends. But in the last couple of years, they were all replaced by video tellers. Recently, I sold a vehicle and was paid in cash. I went to deposit it and was told my now former bank no longer accepts cash. Okay. That was it for me. I joined Credit Union of Georgia, a homegrown, not-for-profit cooperative that still offers personalized customer service, a network of more than 30,000 ATMs, and convenient locations. Innovation is great, but trust and relationships still matter, particularly where it comes to your finances. Make the switch today. Get more info at cuofga.org. Credit Union of Georgia, the better way to bank.
We're back with more of your Paulding County News Podcast.
In the aftermath of another fire near Cheshire Bridge Road, Atlanta City Council member Alex Wan gives insight into the road's reopening. Wan suggests a repair timeline of up to 10 weeks, but assures it won't require a full bridge rebuild. Addressing homeless encampments under the bridge, crews have been on site, and Wan emphasizes collaboration with the city's Department of Transportation to monitor traffic reroutes. Business owners express concern and call for long-term solutions for homelessness. As repairs progress, the community is rallying for support of affected businesses. This is from 11 Alive. Now, I was affected the first time this bridge caught on fire.
I remember that.
It took me, I think it was over 2 hours commute to and from all the rerouting they had to do. So those poor businesses in that area had a hard time in the past decade.
Your sports from WSB and the Paulding Sports Chronicle are ranked region basketball teams. And the boys, McEachern is number 2 in Class 7A, Alexander number 1 in 6A, and Hous number 3 also in 6A. Checking the women, McEachern number 7 in 7A, Harrison number 8 in 7A, North Paulding number 9 in 7A, Hous number 3 in 6A, and North Manchester number 4 also in 6A. And in college sports, UGA's Brock Bowers, Ladd McConkey, Dejon Edwards, and Kendall Milton are all entering the 2024 NFL Draft. I look forward to seeing where those guys go.
Agreed. And if you or someone you know is expecting a baby boy this year, Gerber has announced their top baby boy names of 2024. So let's see if Doug is on there, shall we?
I guess.
There's several categories. In the timeless and meaningful category, you have Levi, Benjamin, and Liam. In the trendiest category, you have Jaden, Finn, and Luca. And then in the unique and emerging category, here are your new boy names: Coulter, Wilder, spelled with a Y, and Loyal. This from Gerber Children's Wear. My brother's name is Michael, and that just stays on the top list usually. And he always, loves the fact that his name is eternal. Where Melissa, not too many people naming their kids Melissa anymore.
I hear you. Doug is not a very popular name anymore, too.
We got the old names, Doug. So it's one of those things where if you ask a woman if her name's Melissa, she's usually over 40. I don't know if Doug's the same way, but it's like I'm one of those names that I'll have the grandmother name in a few years, right? Where's Melissa? Oh, she must be old if her name's Melissa.
Melissa is the new Myrtle.
Exactly. And we'll have final thoughts after this.
Whether you're new to church, have been a Christian for many years, or looking for a fresh start, you're welcome at New Season Church. New Season is a place where people can believe in God, belong to a family of believers, and become fully devoted followers. We exist so that people far from God may experience life in Christ and become fully engaged followers. Join us for one of our 2 Sunday services, 9 or 11 a.m.
Hi, this is Pastor Steve Flockhart. Whether you're new to the Paulding community or have been here since the day you were born, New Season Church is a place where all are welcome. From our exciting children and student ministries to our engaging Bible studies and small groups and events, I promise New Season Church has a place for you.
New Season Church, just off Highway 278 at 4457 Atlanta Highway in Hiram. We exist so that people far from God may experience life in Christ and become fully engaged followers. New Season looks forward to seeing your entire family this Sunday, and feel free to check us out online at newseason.cc. We believe what comes into our minds when we think about God is the most important thing about us. We look forward to seeing you Sunday at 9 or 11 a.m. at New Season Church in Hiram. Thanks for listening to today's Paulding County News Podcast. Follow and subscribe to hear the latest news from the Paulding County News Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. For you, about you, and from you. Get involved in the conversation at 404-997-8655 or info@bgadgroup.com. Did you know over 50% of Americans listen to podcasts weekly? Make sure you join us for our next episode and be sure to share this podcast on social media with your friends and family. Add us to your Alexa Flash Briefing or your Google Home Briefing, and be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is a production of BG Ad Group. All rights reserved.
This podcast aggregate content from other sources for informational purposes and is in no way trying to infringe on the copyrights or businesses of any other entities. All content posted up on the site is used under the Fair Use Copyright Law 107. All audio, media, and articles are copyrighted to the original owners. All audio on this podcast are embedded from YouTube.com and are owned by their respective copyright owners. No audio information are copyrighted or stored on our servers. The court ruled that linking or embedding copyrighted videos is not copyright infringement, even if the source video was uploaded without permission. However, we will gladly remove any audio clip upon valid request from respective copyright owners. Any owners also have the option to disable embedding his YouTube videos on other websites. News and press articles are owned by the respective copyright owners. Where possible, the appropriate accreditation or source of the article is given on the same page. The audio-video files on this site are for listening purposes only. Downloading of these files to one's computer is strictly prohibited. They are owned by the respective copyright owners. If it is in the organization's belief that the usage or specific content used on our site containing copyrighted knowledge conflicts with authorized use and or does not comply with fair use as described in the context, contact us through our contact page and we will remove the offending content immediately. Thanks for listening to the Paulding County News Podcast.